Good evening and welcome to another little ASMR test recording where I'll be focusing mostly on my voice. Now I thought just to have something to say I would read you some poetry. So I have picked out some of my favorite poems by some of my favorite poets here. And I thought I would just try to read them to you. The first poem I'm going to read is Alone by Edgar Allan Poe. From childhood's hour I have not been, as others were I have not seen. As others saw, I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken my sorrow. I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone, and all I loved alone. Then in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life, was drawn from every depth of good and ill the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lightning in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. This is a poem called "O Gather Me the Rose" by William Ernest Henley. O gather me the rose, while yet in flower we find it. For summer smiles, but summer goes, and winter waits behind it. For with a dream forgone, the deed forborne forever, the warm regret will canker on, and time will turn him never. So were it well to love, my love, and cheat of any laughter, the fate beneath us and above, the dark before and after, the myrtle and the rose, the sunshine and the swallow, the dream that comes, the wish that goes, the memories that follow. The next one is "Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep" by Mary Elizabeth Fry. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there, I did not die. The next one is "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night" by Dylan Thomas. Even if you're not into poetry, you've probably heard this in some movie or another. It's pretty popular. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end know dark is right. Because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on that sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Now accidentally I picked out 4 poems by Robert Frost. I was meaning to mix it up a little bit more, but I guess he is one of my favorite top poets, so I don't know. I wasn't meaning for it to end up that way, but sorry for the variation, or lack of variation. This one is Good Hours by Robert Frost. I had for my winter evening walk no one at all with whom to talk, but I had the cottages in a row, up to their shining eyes in snow. And I thought I had the folk within, I had the sound of a violin. I had a glimpse through curtain laces of youthful forms and youthful faces. I had such company outward bound, I went till there were no cottages found. I turned and repented, but coming back I saw no window but that was black. Over the snow my creaking feet disturbed the slumbering village street, like profanation by your leave, at 10 o'clock of a winter eve. I also noticed a lot of the poems I picked out by Robert Frost are about walking or woods. I don't know if that says anything, but this is A Late Walk by Robert Frost. When I go up through the mowing field, the headless aftermath, smooth laid like thatch with a heavy dew, half closes the garden path. And when I come to the garden ground, the whir of sober birds, up from the tangle of withered weeds, is sadder than any words. A tree beside the wall stands bare, but a leaf that lingered brown, disturbed I doubt not by my thought, comes softly rattling down. I end not far from my going forth by picking the faded blue of the last remaining aster flower to carry again to you. And this is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Whose woods these are I think I know, his house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. And the last poem I picked by Robert Frost is The Road Not Taken, which is also my favorite one. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. and be one traveller. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. And this is another one of my most favorite poems, Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And to end the video with, just for fun and to mix it up a little bit, I thought I would read one of my own poems. This is one called The Well that I wrote a few years ago for a girl named Emily. Far 'neath the surface damp and bitter stones, in brooding rings descending, form a deeper well, where hardened hearts and silent mourning souls in solitude will eager long to exile dwell. Of sensing not the sun, embracing darkness close, and cradling its cold and barren promise, of knowing neither hope nor champions for their cause, discern not how much light remains to harvest. May stronger wills make haste to these be true, and down into that deep well lend their hand, that silenced souls may find a voice anew, and hardened hearts may find their light again. And on that note, I will end this video, so thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you liked it, and I hope I'll see you in some other video. Bye bye.